You guys ready in the back?
Brent, just an update on some injury guys, McCade and Drell specifically.
Yeah, McCade, we're looking at best case scenario for him. He'll be back sooner rather than later. And Andrell is going to have season-ending surgery.
What about Gentry? We saw him leave.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay.
Yep, practice today.
In good shape as well? Yeah.
Yeah, he's good.
Brent, you ended up with backup guards in the game and things like that, but yet you still won the battle, it looked like, in the offensive line to me. So how do you feel like your offensive line did in this game?
Yeah, no good. We kept the quarterback clean. The one sack that I think they put from a statistical standpoint was really a quarterback run, and for -1. They did a great job, not much disruption, had a good firm pocket, and again, Dylan did a great job from a pocket awareness standpoint. But those guys did a nice job, and again, we feel like we got 8 or 9 guys that can play winning football, and so that's a group of guys that got in there and got a chance to do it. Thought they did a nice job.
Andrell's been so good for you guys. How tough of a loss is that? And how much?
It's tough. Now, you hate it for him. We have other guys, and hate it for Andrell, how hard he's worked. We got the 6-0. He had a big part, in helping us get there. But again, all of his best football still in front of him, and he'll have a great career on the back end of this surgery. Doesn't have much swelling, and so that usually means it's a little quicker recovery for him. So hate that for him, but this gives some other guys some opportunity.
Brent, the practice today, talk about that a little bit. Guys coming back.
They'll probably tell you they felt like they might have lost. We got a lot to clean up and a lot to get better from, and it's great to do that after a win. Loved, again, there's a lot more that was good than not, but man, we got to focus on the things that we can get better at, and they'll be the first ones to tell you there's a lot, and especially on defense. And all things considered, we had several things. We just had too many busts, too many missed tackles, not enough urgency to execute with the precision and the timeliness that we have to have. We have some guys that haven't played as much, and we've got to do a great job as a coaching staff getting these guys in a position where they can play winning football consistently. And we've got to develop our depth. We got really thin at corner fast. We had 3 or 4 corners that were out in the game, and we had to play Key Lawrence there. And they're really proud of all the guys that stepped up, and proud of, again, the fight and the toughness, the physicality. Really liked how we played from a physical standpoint. But we got to get better fundamentally. We got to get better with the understanding of our defense. It takes one out of the 11 to not do his job, and people like Texas and people that aren't quite as good as Texas will expose you. And I felt like we way too many times, particularly in the second half, that happened. We gave up 2 touchdown busts on the 4th and 2, and on a long touchdown run. We've got calls that we're not executing, and so and these are basic calls, day one installation calls. So we got to do a better job there, coaching and getting our guys to understand and to execute. And so that's what we worked a lot on today.
You mentioned the situation at corner. Is that the health, something that can get?
Yeah, it was, and so we're a little bit healthier now. We're much better today. We had 3 guys back today.
Brent, I know a lot of people talked about clock management, game management last year. Those 2 timeouts you took before the half that allowed you to get the 3 points. How much did you spend in the offseason going over those scenarios, and kind of who on your staff do you credit for working on that with you?
We spent a lot of time. There's a lot of material that's out there that help teach you all those moments within the game. We spent a lot of time teaching our players all the same moments. Here's a lot of different scenarios in football, both collegiately and in the professional football, even through now. So we did that all through the spring and the summer, and then even this fall. Try to learn from other people and learn situations. And again, that was something that, you lose 5 games by 1 score, everything matters. And so peeling that back, that was something that helped us this weekend, and managing that the right way. Players play a big part in that. They've got to make stops so that you can do that and utilize. And then offensively with the time, all the situations that we practiced all spring and summer and fall camp, it paid off there just before half and got us in a good position from a middle late standpoint, and really could have widened that margin.
Brent, I think last season when you got to the bye week, you were really having to reevaluate some stuff. How is it different this year going into
Yeah, we're a little healthier than what we were. Obviously, we've gone through several players that have had season-ending surgery, but over the last several weeks. But we're in a good position from a health standpoint. Outside the, McCade, he's got an ankle sprain, and Andrell. So we're better there. A lot more experience, and again, the depth is different. Our confidence and understanding of what we do, everything's different, and so we're in a much better place. Obviously, I think we're bowl eligible. Somebody wanted me to bring that up to the team. I actually didn't bring it up to the team because I'm proud of that they have taken care of business, but this is Oklahoma, and I don't want to. We're not entitled to win, and we're not entitled to be 6-0 every year. But that's the least of our concerns right now. But that's our second goal, is to win that game. And so we've gotten two of our several goals. And again, I want a hungry, committed football team. I love the humility that we had today. We've got great self-awareness. Mismanaged success is a very normal thing when you're in these positions, and so keeping two hands on the wheel, white knuckle, grip with both hands is something that we're really focused on, and counting on the leaders in this team to stay hungry, driven, humble, willing to show up every day and work their butts off and try to get better, because we got a lot that we can get better at, and that's what it's going to take to have the kind of finish that we want to this season. I think the back half of our schedule from top to bottom is much more challenging than what the front, part of our schedule was. And we should have an expectation of improving and getting better, and you do that by just having a great Monday. And I thought our guys had the right mindset, the right humility, and the right focus, to them to be able to do that.
Brent, 2 days later, you got any new perspective on the goal line stand?
I mean, in the moment, I got on the bus afterwards, and I'm like, y'all understand what we want to build a program on that. And what is that? That's mindset, attitude, physicality, toughness, spot the ball at the one, and we'll put everything on who we are from a DNA standpoint, a standard standpoint on that series right there. And that's should transcend in every part of our program. Belief, toughness, physicality, attitude, all of that. And you don't give them an inch. You don't concede anything. And so, it was, to me, it was the win was really important from a credibility with our guys and moving forward and building the program the right way. But that was a moment that you want to capture, and you don't want that one to slip by. And to me, that's the standard, and we talked about that both right after the game. I got back on the bus with the defense, and we had a moment. That's what it's about to me. And then we talked about it first thing, to start today. You want to build a program on that, and it's not just defense. It's everybody.
Go ahead, Eli.
Bye week. Has your approach to a week like this changed from when you were a younger coach in terms of what you want your guys to get out of it? Mental, physical, taking a break?
I think years and years ago, you practiced, like it was a game week. And because football's year-round now, back when I was in college, I had when I was coaching just out of college, I look back, I had some notes from my notebook from Coach Snyder. And a couple of weeks back, I was looking through it. It was 1998, and I looked at the summer program, and we were proud. We had like 38 players that they had like 30 workouts for the summer, and summer's like 10 weeks, 30 workouts. You just do the math, and we were proud. Half the team did about 3/4 of those days. So back in the day, people went home, they had jobs, and the accountability wasn't there. You couldn't make them be there. Most guys didn't do summer school. And so everything's changed. And so because of the calendar year, you start sooner, you finish later, and you do keep them, on campus year round. You want to be smart about letting them, recharge and refocus, renew their mind, their spirit, their bodies. At the same time, get work done fundamentally, scheme, look ahead a little bit. We're going to do a service project tomorrow with the guys, and we're going to make a bunch of bunk beds for foster children here in the state. There's a law that, every foster child, in order to stay in a home, has to have their own bed. So we're gonna make over 200 beds tomorrow as a team, and have some fun and give back. And then we're going to practice Wednesday, and then practice briefly on Thursday, and then give them the weekend off. So much deserved for these guys.
You've had so many transfer guys come in and step in right away. What steps went into from evaluating those guys in the portal to getting them to buy in so quickly and also learn what you're trying to teach them?
Yeah, I think, identifying obviously our needs, where we needed the most help, and then guys that fit both our scheme and our culture. That's not an easy thing to do because, again, the transfer portal, everything happens really fast, so you don't have as much time to build relationships and find out as much. But we try to use all the resources that we have, and we have a lot, to find out who these young guys were, whether or not, what their roles were, what their positioning on the team was from a leadership standpoint. So we try to find leaders, guys that were accountable, guys that were starters, and maybe something about Oklahoma attracted them. Maybe there was a coaching change. Maybe there was maybe what they were doing scheme-wise, they weren't being utilized as much. Something that would make sense as opposed to, we wanted to make sure they came here for the right reasons, that they understood that they come here, this is Oklahoma, and there's going to be competition. They're going to have to earn what they get, and so all those things, those are the intangibles that we really, evaluated.
Brent, what did you, after the game, Dylan is one of the, if not the calmest quarterback you've been around in your coaching career. When did you start noticing that when he got here?
Yeah, right away. Really unassuming, but again, he shows up every day. He's a gym rat. He's here early, stays late, and loves ball, loves his teammates. Easygoing guy, but he's always working on his craft.
Brent, what was going through your head watching that final touchdown?
Well, I was thinking about how much time was on that clock, and so which defense we're going to have to run out there. I had all the confidence in the world we were going to score. Didn't know if we would score a touchdown or not, and obviously I told him, hey, let's go for the touchdown. Let's don't hold back. There's risk involved with that in regards to turning the ball over and not getting an opportunity to play and doing overtime, but really felt confident in that group. We had actually had the first drive of the second half was outstanding, and then we had like 4 drives that we were just off. And so they got back into a great rhythm right away, and really I was thinking about what defense that we're going to have based on how much time they had, on the clock. So just trying to coach up a lot of guys that we went through things in fall camp, went through a few things in the last couple of weeks to get ready for that moment. And so you're really just trying to make sure that those guys could execute. That's really where my focus was, trying to stay in tune to what was going on from a clock management and those things, but that's where it was.
Hail Mary defense?
Not a ton. So, you're probably give or take once every 3 or 4 weeks. Mm-hmm.
Did you feel like that ball was in the air a long time?
And I wondered why the quarterback was able to step to his left, because our DN was supposed to long stick all the way over there. So we let him go where he shouldn't have been able to go. We brought 5 guys there, and I didn't feel like he'd be able to climb in the pocket, but he was. PJ did a nice job of countering at quarterback depth and rushing it a little bit. And then, but we got a lot to coach off of just in that situation again, off of tape, and being a little cleaner and some of the things we're doing in the end zone.
What did you think of your
Pressure on that. It's kind of become the norm now on that. When did that kind of change?
Watching people lose games, it just takes one time to see, oh my God, did they do that? Well, what's going to be our plan? And if you look, and you're right, it's, you don't see.
You don't need 8 guys to knock one ball down.
Right, that's right. And again, you don't want them to have all day to throw the ball firmly either. So we did make a move a little bit to the left, but typical zone blitz.
Coach, haven't had 48 hours to digest it now.
How impressive was what Caden Green did coming in the game on short notice on Saturday?
Yeah, no, and we look at him as a guy that's a quality starter type player. He just hasn't been in. He's a true freshman, but again, he's mature beyond his years. He's got great power and size, super smart, very competitive, easy to coach. He was ready for the moment. It's not surprising. He's got a disposition that's perfect for that. He never gets too high, too low. He's really consistent from a mindset standpoint and really performed well.
What do you think of your punting game and your kicking game right now going into the break?
You know, there's been some things that have been really good and not so good on Saturday. You know, giving up the punt block. That's a very basic day one installation protection issue, and we got to be better there. It could have cost us the game. And then the fake, we worked that exact fake several times, talked again about it on Thursday, talked about it on Saturday morning in the meetings, and we got to do a better job of communicating. And, there at the minus 32, I thought that was a great call by Sark, but we were getting into a good little rhythm there, but they did a great job executing one of the longest rushes of the day. And, we did pin one inside the 15, and then I thought our kickoff coverage was pretty good. Missed a few tackles, but we played with such great effort. We covered up with it. Had the return, that we really worked hard on, the reverse, and it was a big point of emphasis not to, pitch it forward, and we did. And so we got obviously a gazillion things from this game. We lost the field position by 45 yards. We lost 35 yards on the return. That we had to call back, and those are big plays, and the margin for error is small, championship level. You can't make those mistakes and win games, typically, and we were able to overcome it.
Were you surprised by Zach being short on the 45-yarder?
There was a funky wind that pulled up, hit us right in the face, and I was like, oh no, did that just really happen? And he put it up and it just caught it just right. So. It swirls in there a little bit, and we had a gust that came in there right at the wrong time.
So you still feel good about him?
Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
Thoughts on the running back room? I know a couple weeks you said.
Again, I think we can be better. We need to get better. You want somebody to pull away, and hoping that that happens at some point in time. We were efficient. I think we rushed for 4.7 or so, and they rushed for under 4 yards, and. But we got to continue to get better there. We got to make more guys miss. We got to, we're not doing an amazing job at like we did a year ago. Eric Gray was fantastic. In the first and second, even the third level, made a lot of explosive runs, and by running through tackles or making people miss. And so we got to get better there.